This is such an honor to be here with the legendary band. The countdown is over for the release of Metallica and San Francisco Symphony S&M2 live album and video documenting September 6 and 8 shows at San Francisco Chase Center in 2019. Welcome, Kirk, Hammett, and thank you for having us. How you doing?
Great. Really great. Thank you.
I know that all Metallica are meeting again in Los Angeles, and let me tell you that I feel blessed to be here having my first interview with you guys, which happens in a moment where all the world is trying to get used to the new era we live in. And what's your feeling about everything that has happened in the recent months, and are you dealing with it as a musician?
Well, it's strange. I mean, something like this hasn't happened, obviously, in a long time. And, you know, I think that our world culture wasn't really expecting to be put on hold, to be put on pause. But, you know, as a musician and how it's affected me, I have to be honest. I'm an extremely introverted person and very shy at times, and I like my solitude. I don't grab door handles or elevator buttons. I don't touch any of that stuff unless, you know, I do it very carefully. And I've been working at home ever since I can remember, because that's what guitar players do. They sit around and play guitar at home and work on music. So, I mean, the only real changes that have come to me in my life is the fact that I have to wear a mask, I have to social distance, and I have to have just show my basic respect for the human race and humanity by trying not to get infected or infect other people. And, you know, I think that it's important that everyone on the planet does that. Else we're never going to get through this. I mean, I hate to be so dour about it, but we all have to do the same thing if we're going to move forward. And that's a cold realization. And if we realize that in 6 months' time or 6 years' time, it just needs to be done.
Absolutely. But I want to go back to that amazing September. I sat down in a movie theater since the very first frame of S&M movie about San Francisco, you know, and the waiting fan outside the center. I felt this concert would be amazing. How did it feel to be back on stage with San Francisco Symphony after 20 years from 1999?
It was a wonderful homecoming. We knew what to expect because we had experienced it before, playing with an orchestra. So walking out on that stage for those first rehearsals and hitting those, you know, first few guitar chords and hearing the orchestra just like kick in and join us, it was just an amazing feeling, you know, strangely familiar, but just as invigorating as it was back 20 years ago, and just as inspiring as it was 20 years ago. And for me as a guitar player, I mean, it's my dream to walk out on a stage and hit a full-blown power chord at full volume, full power, and hear the orchestra come in behind me and support that chord with different instruments and embellishments. It's an amazing feeling. It's you and other people putting in the effort to make something exponentially so much bigger. And being in tandem with the orchestra is a really unique and special feeling for me as a guitar player.
And, you know, you were talking about the atmosphere. I was mind blown by the stage. That was really amazing. It was a concert, but it looked like a movie. Before I knew it was a movie, it looked like a cinematographic experience. You looked like you were flying with your instruments. The stage presence, everything was mind-blowing. Not so much word are needed to describe the atmosphere we already done, but let's start from the ecstasy of gold, resonating so strong and making the bond you've always had with Ennio Morricone moving once again. He sadly passed away weeks ago, so this could be the right place to remember him What does the ecstasy of gold mean in Metallica history?
A substantial piece of music. I mean, it's a really inspiring piece of art that Ennio created, and that's the piece of music that we hear before every single Metallica show. And so it needs to be a strong piece of music to be able to introduce us. And Ennio had it within him to create that piece of music that is so fitting for us as an intro. I mean, that song, that piece, every time I hear it, all of a sudden I feel like I'm about to go on stage. There's been times when I've heard it far away from any concert venue, and all of a sudden I start feeling like I gotta play my guitar and warm up and start stretching, because my body thinks it's going on stage. It's a very sort of Pavlovian condition. But the fact that he passed away a few weeks ago, and the fact that we paid tribute to the Ecstasy of Gold and it being played in, we didn't mean it as a tribute, but it has become a tribute because of his passing. And I think it's a great way for us to contribute to his legacy, and it's a great way to show how we are connected with this amazing piece of music that he wrote.
Yeah, and